Okay, so there's some things that you can be shown, and there's some things that you got to just hear. But when you hear it, then you can see what you've been looking at the whole time. It's a mystery until you hear it. You have to hear it. Come hear this. Okay, check this out, man. So in English, we pronounce our G's with like a J or a G, a J or a G, like Georgia or Gorga, right? George, St. George. Now notice there's these Georges all over the place. You know what I mean? You got the George down here, Georgia, and then you got the Georgia over here, South Sandwich Islands, and then you got another Georgia in here. There is definitely a Georgia in here. There it is, right there. Okay, now here's the trick. You got these three Georges, three gorges. This has to do with the dragon, definitely. But what I noticed is that when you pronounce Georgia, it's the people down there, they don't say Georgia, like they don't say Argentina, they say Argentina, right? So then I was like, okay, and then they would say, instead of George, they would say Jorge. Oh, okay. So then I was like, well, when you're looking at Georgia, it's George YAH. So you can't say Jorge. It would be YAH or your YAH. Your with a Y. YAH. H hor ha hor YAH or with a Y. Your YAH. Now, and the G will be silent like they are. G's move in silence, remember? Okay, so check this out. The H and the Y go with the G if the G is silent. So then you have the H comes from the Y. Okay? The H is just an upside down Y. You understand that? So this could be an A. This could be an H. A, H, A, H. You get it? Okay. Because A and H. You get it? Okay. Now, what you have is, you have a G. Turn the G upside down, it's a G, it's a 6. But it's also like an A. And it's also like an A. So therefore, like the H, remember, Jorge, Argentia, but it comes from the Y, so your YAH. Okay? Your YAH. Now, think about this. We know that YAH is the Most High in Shemayim. Okay. For those that don't know, that's the Most High, YAH, in heaven. All right? Period. All right? So, and we know he is the Word, you know, and the Word is with him. You understand? So he said his spirit should not contend with man forever. Sounds like man is not going to be speaking forever. Okay? Or flesh, at least. But now that I've shown you this, so, oh yeah, my new video is about such. Okay? So you have the Constitution. I'm going to just read it out just in case you can't see this. It says the First Amendment. right? You know the Constitution, the First Amendment. So 1A, well, when you write it out visually, now this is what you gotta hear, because when you see it, you don't know what you've been looking at this whole time. Okay, 1A. 1A, all right? But when you see it, that 1 looks like a I. Now, you know how you have AI, which is the opposite of IA, which is YAH. IA is YAH. Now, that's in English. In Hebrew, YAH would be AI. You get it? Because they read from right to left. So if I'm reading it from left to right, it's going to be AI. But if I'm speaking it from their position, it's YAH. Okay? So over there, they're worshiping that. Over here, we're hating that. You can't be one of the... It's not YAH. And they're playing with your visual. They're giving the title of YAH visually, the crown, YAH, to the artificial intelligence, which is Legion and the fallen, Satan, Lucifer, the Aleutian, the Atlantean, Atlas, if you want to call it that. Okay, so the lost angel, yeah, the lost angel. You want to say the last angel, the last dragon? Same thing. The last dragon. Because we all know, when you go to the bottom of the world, down here, once you pass the 60-degree line of longitude going south, you've gone into no God's land. They say you're beyond God's help if you go down there. Well, you're looking at a dragon. And his eye, the one eye, he's got one eye. It's almost like 1A, which is YAH. He's got one eye, which is yay, not YAH. So don't get it twisted. Yay is left, YAH is right. Always. That should be your compass. Always. That should be your word. Always. Now, south. Your YAH. He is the YAH of this world. The YAH in heaven is the only YAH. But this right here, he fell so low from so high that he is the YAH of this world because he's so big. These are his wings. And all this up here, from here to here, is his body. That means all this connected, all that's connected to that, Europe and Asia, is the body. Even Antarctica and the Arctic up there, Greenland, all that's a part of him. So the only thing that's not a part of him is the behemoth, which is North America specifically, and Africa specifically. Where they meet is Australia and New Zealand. Where they meet is the Bermuda Triangle. Where they meet is the Bering Strait. Where they meet is Greenland. There's these points of connection. Don't get yay mixed up with yah. Don't get right mixed up with left. Don't get east mixed up with west. Don't get man mixed up with beast. Don't get exile mixed up with invitation. Don't get grace mixed up with disgrace. Don't get grease mixed up with yawn. Or should I say that backwards? Don't get yawn mixed up with grease. Okay. So, because at the end of the day, even grease, which would come from cross, which would come from where? This cross come from again? Here we go. We were just there last night. And I don't think I took a screenshot. So therefore it might still be up over here. The Letus. Was it the Letus? Let's go. Let's see if it was. Might have been inside of the Letus. I looked inside of there. And yes, it's there. The Crozier, also known as the Patriza, the pastoral staff, the bishop's staff. Stylized staff that is a symbol of the governing office of a bishop or an abbot, and is carried by a high-ranking prelates of Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox. Hold on, let's count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 heads, 10 crosses, 10 serpents. I get it. Okay, so yes, the crosses, the crucifix, the grease, the disgrace. The Western Christianity crozier typically takes its form of a shepherd's crook. So the cross comes from the crook. Huh? Is that corrections? A tool used to manage flocks of sheep and herds of goats. In Eastern Christianity, the crozier has two common forms: towel-shaped, with the curved arms surmounted by a small cross, or a pair of sculpted serpents or dragons curled back to face each other with a small cross in between them. Other typical insignia prelates are the mitre, the pectoral cross, and the episcopal ring. Well, okay, this is Greece, this is cross, this is Christ. This is what you worship. You worship this. No, bro, this is not what we worship. No. See, they told you that Christ comes from Mashiach or Messiah. Has nothing to do with Ma'aseh. Has nothing to do with Messiah. Has nothing to do with Mashiach. Has nothing to do with Moshiach. You hear how they all rhyme together? How they all belong in a house. You get it? They all belong in the house. Can I get you to understand that? Why would you change the name? See, the Messiah didn't walk with a cross. He walked with I guess the cross on his back. You could say that. As a shepherd. Yes. But these little things right here is the original form of it. If I'm not mistaken. The original form is this. That's why they have a him. This is what y'all supposed to be represent him in the middle of it. I thought he was supposed to be surrounded by two thieves. Or not two thieves, but two boys. Two are the crosses. Well, they are cresses. They are crescent serpents. Crozier. Okay, so nothing in heaven nor on earth. You don't wear no crosses, bro. You don't worship no crosses. You don't bow down to no crosses. Croziers. Yay. Crozier. Yay. Left hand. Dragon. They're all about the physical things. The fleshly things. But like I said, the Most High said, nothing in heaven nor on earth. You understand? Don't even swear by anything in heaven or earth. Like, that's how it is. People say, put your hand on the Bible and swear by it. No. People say, see, I was convinced back then. Oh man, just give me the Bible and I'll swear on it. You know what I mean? Like, before I knew. Like, we were told, but it didn't register. You know what I mean? Like, you're given the right amount, but you don't register that it covers everything. You need to be more of service to what was paid in full. You understand? Pay attention. So what we have here is the reason why you have Greece. This is all, it's like a flag, I suppose. Like, yes, we've come here and we've put the not only a cross on Greece, Roman Greco, but it wasn't even Greece, it was Ionia. It was Achaia. How you go from Ionia and then Achaia, which is Ionia is the grace of Yah, and then Achaia is brother of Yah, and then it goes to Greece. Even the sea beside it is still called Ionia from the beginning. Okay. But now it's called Greece. That's like saying, well, we call it Jesus. We call it Christ. Well, even the people, the house, the word that still lives is right beside you. And you before the word. Cross the word and cross it out. And say, no, we're going to put this. That's what you say, cross something out. So whoa. You cross it out. Put a cross on that. Put an X on that. Put an ox on that. So you're crossing it out. You're Xing it out. You understand? Xmas, right? Right? So, hey, that's your logic. That's your logic. But you have to look at the word. The word bars no logic, respects no man, no respecter of man and his logic. Okay? So you're digging yourself into a pit when you're already in a pit. So, like, that's crazy. It's so far removed. All right? So what we have is you have to repent, bro. And even the word repent, you cannot do what that word, see, in English we say repent, okay? But that's the serpent's language. That's Legion's language. That's Anglo-Saxon's angel of Satan, and Latin legion. That's the logic, the language. It's your logic. That's your language. That's your Babylon. All right. That's your confusion. All right. So, and that was given to you. You learned that. You were taught that. So someone else is to blame, but you still have the word before you every day. Never went away. Right in your face. Always an example. Can stand alone. Does not need another man in front of you to deliver to you the truth. If you have a relationship with the word, the history just unfolds, and his story cannot be denied. YASHA is YAH. YASHA, YAH. And that is it. That is our blood. That's literally where our words come from. But we're removed. We're far removed from where we come from. Lost children, lost angels, lost house, fallen, all this stuff. You understand? Broken, confused, biblical, babbling. You understand? I'm really out here trying to help you guys to get, when I say repent, that's for the English speakers. When I say repent, look into that word in Hebrew and you will see it's the Shabbat. It's Yod. It's Yashubab. It's Yashub. It's Shub. Shub. That means to repent, to turn around. Shuv. S-U-V. S-H-U-V. Shuv. Or, it's like shove. Or Shub. Because the B and the V are the same. Shub. It's like turn around. Repent. When we say turn around to who? Yashub. Oh. So now you have Yah in there. So you turn it back to Yah. So here we go again. Who are you? You are Yashub. That means you are repenting back to Yah. You start there. And don't let go. That's grace. Grace leads to salvation. Yasha. Yan. Khan. John. Konoke. Enoch. They lead to Yashaya. Alright? And no man can come into Yah but Yasha. And then Yah. That's why the name goes together. You call on one, you call on the other. So we really have to snap it together, man. Snap out of it. Straight up. Because we're polluting the minds that are pure. The pure minds, the children. They come out, I guess they know. Or if it's not they know, they're trained. Let's say that. They have limits. You know how a car has a governor chip inside of it so that it can't go over a certain miles per hour? That's so that the police are able to catch that car. All right? In America. Because outside of America, in like Japan, they don't have governor chips. So them cars can do well over 200. All right? Um, so, but those same cars coming to America have to have the governor chip in them, or just take the engine out and put in another engine that can be caught by the police. Okay, so that is how a child is born. They're born with limit. It's unlimited. That is the limit. Like, they don't have teeth. So the pronunciation and the sounds that come out of their soft gums, their soft heart. Man has hard heart, right? The words that come out of the mouth stem directly from the heart. All right. So we got teeth. We're hard-hearted. The children got no teeth. They come out just, we say, oh, they're babbling. No, they're speaking heavenly language, and they're literally speaking the love of the wisdom, the love of the spirit of the wisdom. They literally are speaking that. They all, you can go from the east side to the west side to the north side to the south side, and they all have the same bubbles and all the same little pronunciations. Like, these are newborns. They all have the same breath pattern. Like, even when you do music class, they try to tell you, they say, oh, babies, they breathe right, and men, they breathe wrong. Men, they breathe in their chest, and babies, they breathe in their bellies. So because men, it's more of a testosterone, adrenaline, stress thing or whatever, we start breathing in our chest. But babies, they're breathing down in their diaphragm, in their bellies. So the words that come out are different. You know what I mean? And then once you start getting teeth, then all of a sudden the chest starts coming into play. You understand? When they start teething, then they start pronouncing manly words, or I shouldn't say manly words, but they start copying adults after that. You know what I mean? That's when they start being able to pronounce certain words. And even then, until all their teeth grow in.
Power off.
Oh no. Even then, until all their teeth grow in.
Power on.
Even then.
Bluetooth connected.
Even then, until all their teeth grow in, they're still not, because with only 2 teeth, they're still gonna have a weird, they're not gonna be able to pronounce certain things. You understand? And then if you had once they have the full row with the wisdom and stuff, like, they're able to like shoot words out a little differently. It's the capabilities. Teeth give how do you say, they give them capabilities. But and it also I wouldn't say it limits us. I don't think. I haven't really delved into that. But yes, definitely the way the tongue operates around the teeth and the space of maneuvering and such for the tongue in the mouth is different with teeth and without teeth. Closed mouth, like, you're probably missing like a good 3/4 of an inch to half an inch of space. Makes it very tight, hard to move. So the tongue is very, how should I say, is under pressure. Their tongues are under more pressure than ours are. The teeth give the tongue some breathing room. And in there is where, you know, where we have the devil getting loose. It's funny. I never thought of it like that, but that's the truth. That's the tooth. Now, on that note, man, This all started out with the Jorge and the YAH. All right, the east and the west, the north and the south, the left and the right, the truth and the counterfeit. The God of this world is about the flesh, but your soul and who you are gave life to the flesh. You understand that? So you want to stay with the life, the living, and it's just so crazy, bro, because like I said, even how, like, when you say like life comes from the word Leviathan. Like lava comes from Leviathan. Like love comes from Leviathan. Like live comes from Leviathan. Like life comes from Leviathan. Okay? So they give all of these titles that go with the Most High in heaven, YAH, to the dragon, the Leviathan, Satan, in this language. I just want you guys to understand that that is how this world is built against you. It is counterfeit. For whatever you see, there is always something better, that is original, that is pure, that stands alone. So what you see could be a watered down form of anything. You never know. But that's all this world really is. The way I look at it is, we're punished, we're sent down here, and this is a safety net. This is where you meet salvation. If you were not punished, you wouldn't be in sin. If there is no sin, there's no need for salvation. Salvation to get you back where? Return where? Where you come from. To life. Back to life. We're in a half-life, because the next life is permanent. So this is the chance of salvation, that second chance. Heaven is the first, earth is the second. When he created heaven, he created salvation. Earth. He created the heavens and the earth. So if you, whatever falls out of heaven can be sorted through, and which is divided. I come for division. Salvation comes for division in the end with a sword, and then can be purified, dressed up, and presented like a master worksman, master craftsman, master builder. He's talking about building temples and handing out work for harvest and a banquet and a wedding. This takes a lot of work. It's all planned. It was all from the beginning, because that's what's in the end. All right. On that note, man, YASHA is YAH. Hayashar Haya Kadosh Kadash Kadesh. YASHA Kadesh Kadash Kadosh. To the Rabbi I have walk Kakma, I say YAH Kadosh Kadash Kadesh. And I mean, YASHA.